So the Tower 2K is sponsored to you by Let's Talk. Now, if Miss Nettle would please unblock my friend. Hey, we can go there and let her do her job. Please follow my friend. Let's Talk, y'all. This is the best.
If y'all got jobs, if y'all are at work, please clock out y'all.
This video discusses allegations of sexual misconduct, eviction, stress, and mental health topics. All footage, audio, and image are re-edited with original analysis and critique. Fair use 17 USC and 107. Allegations only. All parties are presumed innocent until proven otherwise. Statements are based on public postings, court filings, and first-hand interviews. No bullying and harassment is intended.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Apostle.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
And it is Apostle with a silent T, not a hard T.
Oh, my bad.
Well, the church is picking sides after June 24th chaos. It looks like J Roc was banned from trying church, then booted from his own apartment, you guys. And Bishop Fred Matthews allegedly is still preaching front row support from his first lady abroad, as well as reputation flip-flop while the accuser is out, while the bishop still stands tall, as well as the community reaction, divided pews, and silent deacons and messy Facebook threads. Keep in mind, we have an exclusive interview teaser with J Roc later on this week, and you do not want to miss it. Let's go ahead and get into the interview, you guys. Let's talk.
Amen. Continue to serve our community and love on one another as we do kingdom business. Now, on this morning, we are very grateful to the Lord. Will y'all help me first celebrate our wonderful First Lady? Amen. Help me celebrate her. Come on up, First Lady. Help me out real quick.
What's the reason why? What's the reason?
Baby, you gotta go because we had that conversation even on Josh.
But when
and then on Thursday, you said I'm gonna let this guy down, Pastor. I said I think that will be best.
I don't recall saying that. But
I know you said it though.
The question at hand is, why was this bishop allowed to grace the pulpit? Why was he allowed, with all the safety precautions, allowed to attend the service? But the other party, I feel as if all parties should be held accountable. I feel like in the midst of this, there should have been a full investigation before anybody allowed this man to come into a church that he's never attended a day in his life to grace the pulpit. What you saying?
Hold on. I'm gonna bring somebody in. Hold on. It's not gonna be against you. Just hold on.
You need to bring. It'd be nice if you brought him in, because this could all end right now.
I don't want to talk until you want over the phone.
Oh, I'm not doing no meetups with this man. I'm not doing none of that.
Why?
I wouldn't dare sit in his face.
Why?
Because I'm not dumb nor am I slow. That's not safe for me. He already played enough police games with me. I don't want nothing to do with this man. I will have a phone conversation and that's it.
Nobody's gonna listen. Nobody's gonna play no police games with me. Period. And that ain't because I'm big and bad and blah. Ain't nobody gonna play no police games with me.
Well, I'm not trusting it regardless.
So you want me to trust if we have a phone call that you're not taping?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Listen, it's not this doesn't even have nothing to do with going back and forth on social media. No shade. This don't have nothing to do with this.
I get you. I get that.
This don't have to be filmed. The reason why I've been filming stuff leading up to this is because it's every single time something happens, it's doing more of what they call connecting the dots for me. No shade. At first, people hated me, people didn't like me, but the more things keep going down, the more stuff keeps happening, they keep thinking in their head like, dang, why is all this stuff keep happening? Why is this going on? And the more and more it just puts the pieces of the puzzle together. Like, no shade. This man came to your church and gave you $100. What was $100 to a man that's been paying a prostitute, as you say? Well over that. You paid me over $1,200 one day when you shitted on my dick. So I'm just really confused on why you was only led to give $100.
I don't know, because that wasn't planned. I would have rather that didn't happen. But it did.
And then the thing that made a lot of the supporters look at the church differently is because he renamed the name of the seed 15 times. And that didn't come from me, that came from the live. Not only did he rename the seed, the seed that he kept telling everybody to give to you, he renamed it. First he called it a miracle seed, then he called it a God seed, then he called it
I don't care what kind of seed he called it. That's not my business. Because God gonna bless me, period. So when we started off this conversation, you asked me why. And you said, people take threats lightly. I mean, people don't take threats lightly. And I'm gonna do this, I got my gun, I'm gonna do. You just said in an open conversation, you'll slap me. Did you not say that?
No, I did not say that. I said I'll slap your members, and I'll have somebody slap you. I didn't say I would slap
And
you.
you'll have somebody to slap you. Do you think that's a threat?
No, that's definitely not a threat. That was more of a promise to me.
Okay. So if you just made a promise you'll have somebody slap me, then what? Hold on, J Roc. Hold on.
Just what? I better be making threats. I'm not a threat. I make promises. Jesus, you know me, Lord. You know, real fast. Lord, this ain't getting nowhere. Let me wash my underarms before. Why do they smell like this? Jesus. My underarms smell like they've been sweating all night.
Okay. Hello.
Hello?
Okay. So, J Roc, if
Uh-huh.
you said that, and I was scared.
Oh, honey, now you know for a fact I'm not even going to accept that. You wasn't scared.
No. I didn't say I was. I said if you said that, and I'm scared, then I'm gonna protect myself in any kind of way I can. You know? What? Don't. Anyway, if I said that and I'm scared, I'm gonna protect myself. You have to take this thing. Nobody's. And from the beginning, I told you I'm gonna have men so right, and I want reconciliation for both sides. Did I not say that to you?
But I think everybody...
Did I not say
you said
that?
that, yes, this is all.
You said that's what you wanted as well. But that's not what you want.
But moving forward, that's definitely not what I want. I don't need to reconcile him. We don't have no love, loyalty, or none of that towards each other. He just needs to come out and tell the truth.
Say it again, I can't hear you.
He needs to come out and tell the truth. We don't need no reconciliation. Reconciliation is be living in our truth. That's the reconciliation.
So what do you want to meet with him about?
I just want to ask him in front of somebody else. I got certain questions on my phone that I want to ask him about.
That you want to ask him about in front of me, in front of the mediator?
Yeah, I just want to ask him questions so that he won't have no reason to lie. Do you know who I am? Do you know me outside of the stuff that started last Monday? Yes, I do. Okay, were you in contact with me and did you come to my Airbnb? Yes, I did. So when you got to the Airbnb, what was the next steps? Because I heard that you left, and the text messages and the boo-boo that was on my penis say a whole different thing. That's the questions that I have to ask, just like I had the question to you that never got answered on why this man was able to grace the pulpit and me be denied entry to service.
I just told you why he was able to grace. He came, he said the Lord told him that wasn't planned. If you had not had all the threats and things that you said, you probably would have been able to come to church. But you denounced your membership. You hung up in my face. You've been very disrespectful. So that's why I don't even understand why you wanted to come. And why
But
did you
listen,
call
my
us?
mama, no shade, my mama was sitting there listening to our conversation, and she confirmed that I did not hang up in your face. I simply told you I was going to end the conversation because I did not want to be disrespectful to you. That's not hanging up in your face.
You already been disrespectful, and then you hung up, and then you said remove my membership. You know, and I want to. My thing is with you and me. Just be honest with me, and you have not been honest.
How have I not been honest? What's the lie that I told you? Oh.
You told me you wanted resolve and you wanted to have a conversation. What if he was there to say something about it? I don't know. I didn't know he was coming.
Y'all definitely.
I was on my way to church.
Y'all definitely knew that man. Y'all definitely knew that man was coming to that church. No shade.
Okay, when did we know? Since you know, when did we know?
Y'all had the safety measures already set in place when I arrived to the church for him. That's the reason why I was not allowed entry into the church. Listen, one of your pastors I spoke to on the phone, they already confirmed that. I have it on video footage of them, confirming.
He didn't confirm that, J Roc, because we had safety measures in place on Thursday. And nobody knew Frank Matthews was coming to our church. So that's not true.
Okay.
I know exactly what Bible told you.
Yeah,
so that's not true.
I'm sure the video is out.
Safety measures. We had safety measures on Thursday when all the videos start coming back and people start. We've been had safety measures. As a matter of fact, people don't know. We had plainclothes people that sit up in there every Sunday.
So how do you feel knowing that one of your members is feeling a type of way about a decision that you allowed? Because no shade, I would have been perfectly fine if he would have just been acknowledged, cool, Bishop Matthews. Because even me, I haven't taken his title away from him, even when I speak about him. No shade, I always call him Bishop. But on your end, you really did allow this man to grace the pulpit. You gave this man ample enough opportunity outside of anything else to grace the pulpit to give $100 and make up a whole bunch of lies about what God said.
He didn't get up to raise the offering, baby. That's not why he got up. I said it.
He did raise an offering for you. He raised a love offering, a God seed, a miracle seed, a boomerang seed.
Okay, I can't talk to you if you're gonna keep talking. You're only talking. I'm trying to tell you what happened. Okay. He came there. He said the Lord told him to come by there. He had just left his church, I guess. And he said the Lord told him to come by there because during this whole thing, nobody had reached out to try to bring reconciliation.
That's a lie.
But me.
That's a lie.
Who else did? I don't know.
The messages,
I don't want to know.
if you read the messages I sent you, that lady, the first lady of Watson Grove, the old first lady, she actually was in contact with him before you were in contact with him about reconciliation because she was the third party negotiator.
Who's that?
The lady with the text messages who I got all the messages from, she was in contact with him. She's the old first lady of Watson Grove. Her husband cheated on her in a watch night service. They bashed her in front of the whole entire church.
I don't know nothing about that. You didn't send me them text messages.
This all, I mean, it's all over the internet. It's on every blog. It's everywhere. The messages, those the messages. But hold on, you just told me I sent you the messages though, because you said you seen the part about him and what he said about what his wife wanted to do to me. Those are the messages.
No, I saw that.
Well,
you sent that to me because I asked you about why would you say that online that you wanted her to kill herself.
Well, she ought to off herself and off her husband too.
Correct. That's what I asked you. So I don't know nothing about no first lady, no Watson Grove, or none of that. I don't know none of that. And I'm not sitting up watching social media to see what.
This is exactly what I'm saying. He should, honest to God, truth, no shade. It should have been a die down situation where they should have allowed the church, everybody should have allowed this to die down instead of allowing this man to come. As thankful as he is, as whatever he got conjuring up in his spirit and his soul, that was not a good look. It was not a good look for the church that I attend to deny entry to me, but then allow this man to say that God said this and God did that. You can't trust that man. You've been knowing that man for a few days. He gets in the pulpit and said that. It's no way possible you can trust this man and you're going to deny a 6-year member. No matter, God, out of any member in that church, I've denounced my membership more than anybody in that church over the last 6 years. No shade to the soul. I've denounced my membership from that church so many times.
To who? You can call me and tell me, Pastor, this is what I'm doing, and I don't want to bring no shame on the church. And you go do what you do, and you come back. You don't denounce your membership. You just accountable and tell me what you're going to do. You never say I'm not a member no more. You've only
so then if you know all those things is true, why would you stab me in the back and allow this man? I just didn't know. I don't know.
I'm sorry that you feel I stabbed you in the back. But why would you tell me to remove your name from membership? Because at that point, J Roc, I am no longer obligated to cover you.
But that's not what you said on the King Jives Live. You didn't say after that point you couldn't cover me. You told me I'm your covering, I'm your leader until God says differently. Not until, you denounce your membership, so now I don't have leadership over you.
J Roc, when you denounce your membership, that's when the Lord said, let it go. Everything you asked me to do, to try to bring reconciliation or to even just meet, I did. But that wasn't enough for you.
No, it couldn't have been enough for anybody because then the man was in the pulpit on Sunday.
Enough for you. Because you said you are not going to stop until this man doesn't have his wife and his children and is out of his church. And when you got mad at me is when I told you, no matter what's true or no matter what's false, J Roc, that's not your position to do. His bishop would have to do that. Even if you do this until Jesus Christ comes, sweetie, you cannot do that.
So why was you fake lying? Why was you fake crying in the pulpit on Sunday when he gave you $100?
It ain't, baby, it ain't got nothing to do with no money. It has everything to do with somebody appreciating somebody trying to cover them, like I did you.
No, the covering that I got was nothing compared to the covering he got. He got covered. He got a hand knitted blanket, and they covered him up and tucked him in.
You don't go to the church anymore, baby.
Honey, it's no way possible you're going to tell me that you lost all love, loyalty, and leadership for me all in the matter of a few minutes after I told you that I was no longer a member of the church after being a member for 6 years. It's no way possible.
I've been covering you for 6 years when you was in jail. I've been covering you for 6 years when you was on social media getting beat up by Shamar. I've been covering.
Well, that's the gag. Let's stop you right there. Shamar never, not once in his life, ever put his hands on me. So I don't know why we trying to still run with that narrative. Shamar never touched me.
Okay, that's fine. But in that fight, I covered you then.
But we're not going to talk about the covering that I had when bitches was on the internet saying that you was dating Portia. And I covered you when people on the internet talk mad trash about you and ran your name in the dirt. So we're not going to just say that you covered me, I covered you too. Thank you.
Okay, but that's fine. So what's the end goal? Because I explained to
the
you.
end goal is for you either going to be a leader or you're going to be fake, weird, and stupid. No shade. I don't know how else to say it. Because what you did on Sunday was all of the above.
Okay. And so why do you still want to talk to me, baby? Why?
Because I'm not you. I don't lose my love and loyalty overnight. I don't do that. Every single day on live, I keep saying the same thing. I want to have a conversation with Sam Franklin because I'm not y'all. I'm not going to run with a narrative. I want to see what this lady got to say. I'm not like everybody else. When I get into it with somebody, I beef with somebody, I don't denounce my friendship with them. What?
Okay. Say that last part you said again.
I said when I get into it with somebody or things don't go my way, I don't denounce my friendship with them. Now I might have told you I didn't want to be a member no more because of the things that was going on at that moment, but I never not once said, okay, I'm not gonna be cool with her, and not once did I ever attempt to think.
I apologize. You said I will no longer. You said I will no longer to pull your membership out, and then you said you would not be speaking to me again. And you apologize, Tommy.
That's exactly what the messages say. You want to read them verbatimly?
So yeah, I can. So you're saying two different things. Either you're gonna still be friends, or either you're not. You said I won't be hearing from you.
Well, listen, I don't know what to say. Heck, I don't know what to believe right now. I honestly, I lost faith in Jesus dealing with all of this. I don't even know if Jesus is even still real no more.
That was remember, J Roc, that was the argument. Because I was trying to tell you, you was trying to say, Pastor, I'm not saved, I'm not saved, I'm not saved.
I'm not.
I'm not saved. And okay. That was the argument, though, and I was trying to tell you, you just weren't mature.
No, what I think is, in the midst of this situation, we got a 25-year-old prostitute in your eyes, escorting other people's eyes, whore, hoe, slut in everybody else's eyes, that is coming to the world saying, okay, hey, this is the conviction that I actually felt in my spirit and in my soul when I ran into this man that I've been having sex with. What the world did was they ran with their own narrative. We prayed for the other party. We called this other party. We checked up on him. We offered prayer, and we even offered to let him grace our pulpit. But what we did not do is our actual member. We didn't call him to pray for him. We didn't pray with him. We didn't get our intercessors to pray. Heck, we even mentioned on our prayer calls. We didn't do none of that. We didn't care about J Roc. All we cared about was our image and how we looked. So what we're going to do is we're going to allow this man to come to make it seem like we're cool and make it seem like, I'm covering him now that J Roc is no longer under my covering. We're going to cover the other party so that it can look good on our end. The whole time it backfires. So delete the video off of Facebook, delete the video off of YouTube, and we're going to push forward like it never happened. But the thing is, social media is not being quiet. So now we're going to call J Roc this morning to play cover-up games, because I was already told that I couldn't speak to you for a few weeks, so we would set up a meeting in a few weeks, and I was blocked. And you can't say that I wasn't blocked, because I did get on live and call your number multiple times and text you, and none of my stuff went through.
No, you
so
didn't.
yes, oh no, ma'am, I didn't. I haven't deleted.
I
haven't deleted anything, so you definitely can't call me a liar. I haven't deleted nothing.
Let me ask you this: when you text me, were your messages blue?
The messages were still blue, but they did not deliver. The messages will still be blue, even if you're blocked. They still will be blue. That ain't got
nothing to do with me. I don't block people, and you can ask anybody that.
Okay, well, you can't. You couldn't say that I'm a liar. You can't say that I'm a liar, because I can pull up the live video on Facebook.
I don't have.
Ma'am.
The mixed calls. J Roc, what do you want, baby? Because I'm not gonna keep going back and forth with you.
I want you to hold yourself accountable for what you did wrong. That's what I want.
I'm very accountable.
You're not holding yourself accountable. You let that man in that church and denied me entry.
I'm very accountable.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
A few minutes ago, you just put our conversation on live.
That's fine. Can I ask you a conversation? Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question now?
Come on.
Just think about how would you feel if Frank Stevenson was in your shoes? Because he has a big, nice church. If this was happening at Frank Stevenson's church, and you were paying attention to the situation at hand, and you were, just another pastor on the back end, and you just so happened to see this man come and address Frank Stevenson's pulpit, but he tells the member that denounces their membership that they're not allowed to come in. How would you feel? Wouldn't you think that wasn't a good look? Because I haven't heard nobody say that it was a good look yet. Even the people that said they've been knowing you for decades and years, and on top of this, everybody keeps telling me it was not a good look. Even members from your church are telling me it wasn't a good look.
Okay. You want me to call Frank Stevenson? Because we talked about it.
I don't want you to call Frank Stevenson, because just as much as your church is being messy, his church is going back making posts too. The leadership in his church, so... Because J Roc, you are mentioning all these churches. But I've never mentioned Frank Stevenson's church in a bad way, actually. So no, he had no. They church had no reason to chime in. It doesn't matter whether you mentioned them in a bad way. People are mad that you're mentioning their church name. Period. Oh, well, that's why people. Yeah, call him. Let's call him so I can ask him, is he mad that I mentioned his church? Call him. Add him to a three-way.
Hold on.
If the Lord never does anything else for me, He's done enough.
Hello?
Hello?
J Roc?
Mm-hmm.
Frank.
If the Lord never does anything else for me, He's done enough. Well, He's blessed me once, and He blessed me twice. Said the Lord, the Lord, the Lord keeps on blessing me. If the Lord, never does anything. Hello?
Hold on.
Done anything else for me, He's done enough. Well, He's blessed me once, and He's blessed me twice. Says the Lord.
Okay, Frank. Frank. Okay.
Keeps on blessing me.
J Roc, look at Frank.
Oh, you just said that he was.
What's up, J Roc?
You got so. I was just told that you were upset with me mentioning the church friendship name.
I'm not upset with you mentioning the church friendship name.
Because I didn't. That is what you just said. I never mentioned. Yet the Frank Stevenson church was the only church that never got mentioned bad in this whole entire manner.
I said to you, whether you are mentioned in negative or positively, people are not cool with you bringing their church name in this.
That's not.
We just had not had that conversation.
But that's not
yesterday.
what you just said to me, though. That's not what you just said.
That is what I said.
That's not what you just said. You're not gonna sit on here and switch up. Listen, you just said that people were angry with me mentioning their churches, and I responded with, how, if I haven't said nothing bad about their church? That's what was just said. You did not make that statement about negatively or positively, and then I responded with, oh, well, call them. No, you did not. You're not going to say that you did because you did not. You're not.
How did we get that, J Roc? Because you said people at Frank's church, their leadership is talking messy about you too. Did you not say that?
Yes.
Okay, and my response to you was, because you're mentioning their church name, and you said, I have not said anything negative about Frank's name, Frank Stevenson's church. I said, it doesn't matter whether you said anything negative or positive. It's the fact that you're mentioning their church name.
No, you said that these pastors, you said that they were angry at me mentioning their church's names, and that's why they made the post.
That's what I just said, J Roc. That's the same thing I just said. Frank did not that same thing I just said.
Well, let me say, we're not angry, upset, or anything, in that space at all. You came to church, you were polite like you've always been. You wasn't a distraction or anything, and I really appreciate that. We do take security seriously, so we were intentional about making sure you were safe. J Roc, you got a relationship with Sam that's a lot longer than I've known you, and I do want y'all to, I hope y'all can reconcile. And that's what I shared with her last night, because, you call her apostle and leader. I just hope y'all can reconcile, because I think in your heart you really kind of, still have an appreciation for the teachings or whatever. And so, I don't know. Let me say this: friendship, Frank Stevenson, we don't have no problem with J Roc.
So what leaders are talking about you, J Roc, from Frank Stevenson's church?
I said the leaders made posts. They did make posts. I seen the brother go and repost the triumphant messages, and then the leadership was up on the brother's post because it was sent to me. I think people fail to realize I've been popular since before all of this happened. No shade. So people have been sending me every little thing that's been about this whole entire situation. I called my people yesterday and said, who is these people making posts and resharing and saying ain't these the people from Frank Stevenson church? They said, yes, that's them from Frank Stevenson's church. I said, oh wow, so they into it now? And then I made a post online and said, oh, I can't attend nobody's church because I won't be safe at nobody's church. That's what I said.
Yeah, no, everybody's gonna be safe at friendship.
And nobody's gonna be denied entry.
When you came Sunday, didn't you feel safe?
I felt safe, but I felt very uncomfortable.
Well, all live.
Well, no, that's not on y'all's end. That wasn't nothing bad. We're going to clarify that. Like I even said that on live. I was uncomfortable because I already knew it was going to be uncomfortable going to anybody's church on Sunday after what's been transpiring all over the world this week. So that was no issue. But the biggest issue here is J Roc was not denied entry at Frank Stevenson's church after mentioning Frank Stevenson's church every day on live with the 4 churches that I said I was going to be attending. I did not get denied entry from that church. I didn't get denied entry from Mount Hermon. I did not get denied entry at TCPW, but I got denied entry at the exact church that the bishop was in attendance to that Sunday. It was not a good look that the member was denied entry, but a man that we don't even know and don't even know if we could trust him was able to come in, not only able to attend the service, but able to grace the pulpit at the service. That is weird to me. It's no coming back from that. And then we try to beat around the bush and make it seem like it's something that it's not. No, why don't we hold ourselves accountable? We made a mistake. It was a mistake that was made. It was not a good look. Why can't we move forward? Instead, we want to get our minions and stuff to try to get on J Roc case. And people don't understand I'm mentally unstable. So I'm very crazy. I could take it extremely far and never stop. My friend said in my friend, they're going to say, J Roc, you go and never stop. That's me. When I just filmed the TV show, they said, J Roc, you're a firecracker that can't be put out. That's me. I don't stop. So it was not a good look, and we're not going to switch nothing up or switch nothing around, period.
Well, let it be clear. Frank Stevenson ain't got no problem with J Roc. And I do hope that you and your apostle, who I got a lot of respect for saying Frank, she's on the phone, she know I got a lot of respect for her. I do hope that there is some reconciliation.
Yeah. And
Don't say it ain't no way to come back from it, because there's always a way to come back.
Mm-hmm. Frank, let me ask you this. On Thursday, when we talked, or when all this first went out, what did I tell you about J Roc? Didn't I tell you I never had no real problem with J Roc coming in, and how I've always supported him, and that this was unfortunate? Did I not tell you that we was going to put security measures in?
Yeah, you explained to me that it was strictly about security and that there was some threats made.
Yeah.
Well, I still don't see why somebody should be denied entry into church. We didn't even deny entry during COVID. I'm confused on how it was denied entry because of a threat that was made. That's weird to me. If you got security things set and measured, why was I not allowed to grace the church, but the other party in this, who also plays a role in this, making threats and everything, was allowed? That man definitely made a threat towards J Roc. The message said, if I did what my wife wanted me to do to him, I would be in jail. That's a threat. That's a threat. But we allowed this man to come and attend the service, but did not allow our own 6-year church member, as many times as he denounced membership, to attend the service. I was just confused. I'm just still confused. I still haven't got an answer.
Stop saying as many times as you denounce service. You
keep saying I have not denounced my membership. I've denounced my membership multiple times. No shade.
Okay, so you just got out the groupie. Okay, but you didn't do it on the live. You didn't have negative things to say.
I didn't denounce the membership, but I didn't denounce my membership this time on live either. I called you. I came to you directly and told you to remove my name.
You did, baby. You did say you no longer believed in that church and that I didn't preach Bible. You said that on live. You did. You did. You did. And it's okay.
So once again, we're making J Roc the bad person. We're not offering any prayer. We're not offering any help. We're not even paying attention to the cries that this boy is giving out. It's got to be some type of cry. It's something about why this boy is doing this. What kind of help can I get this boy? We're not thinking about that. What we're thinking about is covering up our names. So with that being said, we're going to end the conversation here because it's not. You do have a name to cover up because you made your name look real bad on Sunday. You ran your name in the dirt on your own. No shade. You did that to yourself.
I don't care about that.
I bet you don't. You don't care about nothing in this thing but trying to make yourself look good, and that's stupid to me. That's very, very stupid.
I don't have to do that.
Yes, you do. Honey, if you didn't have to do that, you would have never deleted none of your services from Sunday, and now all of them are gone.
There you go.
Do you know Facebook started deleting services on the first?
No, they did not. Now here go Facebook delete. So why did YouTube delete it then?
Yes, they did.
So why did YouTube delete it?
We trying to get to resolve to why you feel that he was entered access and you weren't.
Because it's not how I feel. That's what we know. That's a fact. That's a born fact.
So let's deal with that. Let's deal with that.
Didn't you just say that we're not going to be preaching selective sin? So let's talk about it all, not just one thing. We're not going to do selective.
Exactly.
We're going to do.
So let's deal with that.
Okay, so can you call him on the phone then? You call Frank Stevenson.
Yeah, you just said call Frank Stevenson.
Right. So now I'm asking you to call Fred Matthews.
No, I will meet with you and Fred Matthews.
I'm not. I just told you I'm not doing no sit downs with nobody. I don't feel comfortable sitting down with anybody. Just same exact thing I told to Kerry James. I don't feel comfortable sitting down with anybody.
So do you think Kerry James or myself, or do you think, regardless to, you think we would sit down and let something happen to you?
I can't trust you. I can't trust you.
Okay. That's fair.
After what happened on Sunday, I don't know what to believe, who to trust. Heck, I don't even know if I feel safe in a church.
I understand. So maybe you need to just stay low for a little while.
And that's what I knew you was. I said that on live. I said you was gonna say that when I spoke to you. I told them you was gonna say that. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a resolve between this. I'm looking for a moment to get deliverance from this. My deliverance is gonna come from this situation. You as my leader should not pass that over. You should not say lay low or none of that. You should offer. You still have yet to offer up a prayer or anything.
I text you every day trying to get that.
Ma'am, you included yourself in drama. That's not the way of going about this. You allowed this. You denied me issue.
I text you.
Ma'am, you missing the big picture here. We're not going to keep skipping over the big picture. Okay. You denied me entry into your church on Sunday to allow this man to enter into the church. There's no coming back from that. You're not even remorseful for the things that took place on Sunday. You told me that I was not hurt by it, is what you said. You said that you're not hurt by that. And in all honesty, it's hurt me worse than when my niece died. And I tell that to my mama. This is a hurt. This is something that really, even my mama was shocked when she heard everything that went down. And it gagged her. Okay. And she don't even get into my drama. It gagged her. So yeah, I'm very gagged. And then for you to sit around and say, no, you're not hurt by this. No, I'm very hurt. It hurt me to the core. My whole church, I'm hurt that the church that I ride so hard for.
Hold on, okay? Hold on.
Well, fancy, well, fancy. Give me one time, give me two times, give me three times. Oh, 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 I got my boots on the ground. Where them preachers at? Oh, 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 I got my boots on the ground, yeah. Well.